Hello, my name is Gemma. I am a criminologist, and so today I want to talk about, a lot of things that are going on in this world that pertain to wars, right? There's about war crimes and genocide, things like this. So I don't really have a story, but we could say what's going on in the world right now and use this as an understanding to underpin a morale, okay? Right. So we have lots of wars going on. We have Russia and Ukraine. There's Syria, I think, still going on. Gaza. And we have now US and UK doing it. And Hamas as well, right? So there's obviously other things that are going on in the world, okay, but I'm just going to point them ones out. Now, what happens when we destroy land at this amount, this level, the amount of destruction that's taking place right now? Okay, what, like, not why is it happening, okay, but what are the consequences, right? And obviously we know the consequences are, mass destruction, and there's a cause, there's a reason, and I'm not going to get into the reason. I don't need to. There's many reasons, okay? So let's just get into the fact that it's happening and there's a destruction, okay? So it's like a divine feminine concept where the earth is the feminine energy, right? So how we can best understand what's going to happen as a consequence is that when we pass over, the likelihood of us going in to a damaged stream where there's just nothing left in the world, like to live off, the likelihood of us all coming back in on them streams where there is fruitful land is very low, okay? So let's go there. If we're going to hypothetically do this, like, let's go there. If we're going to demolish the whole land, right, demolish a lot of the lands, there's no nourishment, there's nothing left. The likelihood of, us all falling through back on streams of, that fruitfulness is very low, okay? And it goes for the hires as well. It goes for everybody. So if there's a demolish of lands, over and over again, you got to think, obviously there's going to be a lot of passing over. There's a lot of death energy. But when you pass over as an elder who's ordered this, planned this, the likelihood of you falling back through into reincarnation, it's not an aspect of karma, because that's obviously, I don't believe in karma as much. I don't really believe in karma because a lot of injustice can take place to somebody for no reason. And that's true. So you can't it's quite damaging to say that karma is actually real. But the likelihood of you falling back through the streams of, reincarnation, come back through, the likelihood, because we go like this, like the Torah. So the likelihood of you coming back through on them streams of, where you did come from is very highly unlikely, because there's not much of a choice in area where to fall back through on. So the more destruction that is caused, the more likely the streams are going to have an impact on your generations, the hires, the elders, your generations, the controllers of the world. And I'm not attacking you, I'm just saying that it's going to be a less likely chance of your next life being a survival rate, a high survival rate. And, it goes for everybody. Because if we do it to the whole world, if we just go around destroying the whole world, because you don't know, because it might actually, they might retaliate. So you got to think that, if US and UK are dropping airstrikes, you got to think they might retaliate. It's quite sad, really, because to understand this concept would be just to know that we have a space here now. We don't have to destroy the lands. We don't have to destroy the inhabitants of the lands. But we can understand that there can be peace on this plane. And we can, fix it without being punitive and committing crimes against other countries. It's an act of war crimes, isn't it? If you bomb something, straight away, I think it is. So that will be my understanding of that. So all I'm saying is that the likelihood that you're going to fall through on, worse streams than what you did in this lifetime is highly, highly likely because of the amount of damage in all the areas of the land. So it's almost like, unless you know the keys to reincarnation and how you get back through on, your streams, which would be interesting, because I don't think anybody really knows that. I don't actually think that's the case. But I think we can fall through on sort of certain streams if you end up there. But the likelihood of you falling through or your family falling through on the large scale where the destruction has been caused, that's going to have a knock-on effect on your next life or your families. So you have to really think about, how much destruction we're causing when it pertains to war crimes and genocide. Because there's an aspect there where with the destruction of the land, it won't be inhabitable. So people will be more likely to be born through on streams like third world countries, okay, by the end, because it can actually go to that far, those lengths. But I understand this as to try and explain how instead of making war, we make peace, because we are more likely to have a survival rate in our next incarnations for the elders and, whoever else has going to be born next in those next eras. And, things can be sort of altered as well, so we can sort of find new ways of creating things like Tesla. So we, as, ideas can be generated, free renewable energies and things like this. So we can generate a whole different, trade of, different types of energy instead of, having that base oil. And, we can find different ways to sort of create a new way of living that is less damaging and more productive. And we can do things now, like with water. We can do many things to create renewable energies with water and things like this. So, there are ideas out there. There is people who have come up with ideas of how to do this and generate a new way so we don't have to fight. Or if we're trying to protect, try and protect in a different way instead of just retaliating and as an eye for an eye, because that doesn't always work. And if we get involved in affairs that aren't ours, we can damage our own representation as our countries and what we want to purport. So my solution as a criminologist would be to find new areas where we can trade in different ways and also come up with new ideas to generate solutions or new products, so we don't have to go to those extents of destroying land mass at large scales. Okay, so it's a peaceful solution, and obviously you don't have to listen to me if you don't want to, and it's absolutely fine, but I just wanted to share my 2 cents on that and how I promote peace, how I'd like to promote peace and healing and what's happening in these countries. My name is Gemma Hayley, I'm a criminologist and I'm a mum of 2.